Okay, so my name is Aaron, and this is my presentation for my senior internship. So my mentor was Zena Prelli. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but I found her through lots of networking. We're both from the Syracuse area, and she has a really good reputation there, so there were a lot of people that I could talk to and figure out if we would be a good fit. She was also a mentor for the previous class last year, so I was able to talk with the student that she was mentoring and find out, how is she? What are some of the things that, some of the professionals in the Syracuse area might not tell me, like what, from a student's perspective, how is she as a mentor? I also met with her before the internship technically started, towards the end of the fall semester, and just had lunch, just talked. We didn't talk about interpreting stuff at all. It was just casual, seeing how she was as a person and seeing if we would click. And then setting up a rough outline of what we would do during the internship, seeing if, what was her plan for the internship, what were her expectations, and would that fit with me. So how many hours did I complete? I had 134 A hours. Those are really easy to get out of the way just because I was working with agencies at that time. And obviously your hands up the entire time, so that was really fast. B hours, I had 42. B and C hours were tough for me just because a lot of the experience that I had, I was solo and working with an agency. And it was really tough for C hours, for observation hours, just because my mentor does a lot of law and does a lot of confidential stuff that she can't really bring somebody who's not involved in the case along with. D hours, I only had 3.5. Really, it was just invoices and like office work. And E hours, I had a lot, 126 E hours, just because towards the end I started getting a little panicked. So I was just doing regular TED Talks. I was just practicing, so I kind of got obsessed with E hours towards the end of my internship. How did I strengthen my connection to the deaf community? So the Syracuse Deaf community, or the Syracuse Deaf Club, has, every Friday they have these coffee chats at Panera Bread. So I would always go to those and just chit-chat. Nothing formal, just hanging out. I also found it really important during assignments, pre-conference and post-conference, find out what would you like me to do for this assignment, what's your preferences, and then after the assignment's done, just having a quick conversation. How do you think I did? What can I do to improve next time? What are your thoughts on this? Along with the Panera Bread, Syracuse Deaf Club also had a lot of events too. They had bowling, interpreter, celebration days. I'm also a bartender, so the whole Syracuse Deaf Club came in and I was able to serve them and just hang out with them at the bar, so that was pretty cool. And I had some agency events that I went to as well. I was working with Aurora and Whole Me in Syracuse at the time, and they had a couple events during the course of my internship. Interpreter celebration, different fundraisers that they set up. So that was a good opportunity to meet some deaf people. Some of the hardest lessons learned, like I said before, finding observation hours was really tough just because Zena's preferences of interpreting was very limited to what I could actually be involved in. It's also, I found it tough trying to take control of the situation because when you're actually interpreting and you're by yourself, you don't have somebody there to vouch for you. So you are in charge of the situation. You can say, hey, you need to slow down a little bit so you can finish interpreting your piece, and then say, okay, you need to ask the nurse to move because she's blocking the sight line. So you have a lot of control of the different variables and situations. Confidentiality. I found this tough just because a lot of the interpreting work I did was medical, and some of the stuff that I saw was really, really stressful. And it was tough just because after the assignment was done, I couldn't really talk about it with anybody. So that was really, really heavy, and that started to strain after a while. Maintaining neutrality was another one. So again, a lot of medical assignments. it was tough just because some of the staff wasn't really respectful and didn't treat the patient as human. And that was tough, just knowing when to step in and when to just be an interpreter. And finding out what is tax deductible was a nightmare. And I didn't find this out until recently, but there's a lot. You can do car mileage, you can do parking payments. And I didn't keep any records of that prior to my internship, so I had to go back and then figure out all the assignments that I did, all the mileage, all the parking and everything, and then finding out what I could actually deduct from my taxes. So that was pretty hard. Some of the best memories from this, meeting new people. I was able to meet a lot of really awesome individuals I wouldn't have met without the internship. Coming out of my shell, too. I'm really, by nature, a really reserved person, and this internship really helped me branch out and feel more comfortable during assignments. Learning the more nuanced elements of interpreting, like I said, you can only learn so much from classes and textbooks. The small things that aren't really in like any textbook, like getting to the assignment 15 minutes early, talking with the presenter, seeing what we can do, getting, if you're going to a theater play or something, getting the script beforehand. There's a lot of small things that I didn't realize before the internship. Goofing off, Zena and I really clicked together, and it was really fun. Really, every assignment that I did with Zena, it was a blast, and we had an awesome time. And we also had in Syracuse a little group of interpreting students and mentors for ASL, and we would meet every week, and we would just chit-chat about different assignments we did. We would go to meetings, we would go to dinners, and that was a really good environment to be around, so that people would have you back. So my advice is, like I was said before, network with agencies. Get your foot in the door, introduce yourself, and maybe start working, because that was how I got a lot of my college really fast. Step outside your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to take leaps of faith. It'll definitely pay off. And it's okay to ask for help too. Don't feel that just because you're a senior and you're working with professional adults, you should know how to do everything. We're still students, and I learned a lot just by asking for help. And it's not fun. You're not stuck with your mentor. So obviously you have the one mentor who signs the piece of paper, but there's a lot of, and I found this out really a lot of my opportunities that I got, a lot of my knowledge that I got were from interpreters other than my mentor. And it's cool to have a little branch of people that you can go to instead of just relying on one interpreter for hours. Keep detailed records of your internship. So it really helps a lot, especially when you're doing journals. I carry around a little book, and I write as soon as we sign it, I write what happened, what worked, what didn't. And that's good, even not just for journaling purposes for your internship, just looking back and saying, what did I do good here? What can I improve on here? How did I improve on this? And keep in contact with each other. I learned a lot from my peers in my class, just from seeing how is this assignment, how'd that go? Oh, I didn't even think of that. Like situations that you're not involved in, they can share their experience. And that's it.